salamat po sa opportunity makapagtanong sa inyong budget as well as your presentation. Mahirap pong debatihin yung statistics na pinresent ninyo, like let's say the rate of disposition of cases, dispute resolution rate, prosecution success rate, correction programs, etc., especially the outcomes and the benefits that it may have rendered society. My initial concern is how we are able to relate all these programs, these outcomes, these achievements for our ordinary people to appreciate, like if an ordinary person is hearing our presentation this morning, baka hindi niya masyadong maintindihan. What are the benefits that it may accrue the society in general? Can I walk at night more peacefully and more confidently today because the Department of Justice has presented several accomplishments that may or may not be understandable to him? Can he smile more openly today? Kasi as compared to the last year or previous years, necessarily you achieve more than the previous years. Paano kaya yun? How can we make our ordinary citizen appreciate all this? Para sa ganon, they can relate to what the DOJ is trying to do. Mahirap naman kasing sabihin na, ito yung nagawa namin, but how can the ordinary Filipino appreciate and even understand sa kanyang pangkaraniwang buhay?
Opo, maraming salamat po sa tanong niyo, Senator Dante. Basically, ang Department of Justice po, without talking about the mandates of the particular 10 attached agencies, constituent agencies, meron pong dalawang mandato na malaki ang department, ang kagawaran. Ito po yung isa, yung NPS, yung sa prosecution service, at isa po yung legal services. Dagdag pa po dito yung iba't ibang mandato ng mga batas na itinalaga natin. Kakibat din po dito yung mga IACAP, yung ibang programs po natin sa OSAEC, OSAM, at yung Witness Protection Program. Pero sa pangkabuuan ho, kagibat po namin yung may tinatawag po Senator Dante, yung Your Honor. Pero po tayong yung Judicial Justice Zone na ginagawa po, na ang konsepto po, umuupo po ang, dahil bahagi lang ho ang Department of Justice para maramdaman ho ng mga kababayan natin yung pangkabuang epekto. Naupo po doon,
Kung tayo po dalawa ang nag-uusap nito, I can easily understand you.
Opo.
And as one, I will appreciate all of these programs that the DOJ has been struggling to do and have achieved over the years. Ang sinasabi ko, yung ordinaryong tao, you have prosecuted so much, for example, compared to the rest of the prior years. Marami kang na-correct na mga erring individuals now in the care of the Bureau of Corrections. Ang tinatanong ko po yung, paano maiintindihan ng tao? All of this collectively contributed in pacifying the restlessness of our people in their communities, lalo na yung medyo palagi yung criminality. So is it possible that we can relate, for example, all this collectively in saying that, ang criminality ngayon po is lower because it is directly correlated with what we have done so far? Yung ganun ba, something that we can tell our people back pag-uwi natin? Kasi maaaring nakikinig sila, but naiintindihan ko po na gusto rin nilang intindihin how much has been achieved over the years. may not be so meaningful to them. Yung mga, they will purely stand as statistics. Pero yung mas importante sa kanila yung, ano pala tayo ngayon? Mas ganito pala tayo ngayon, ganito. So how can we tell them? Paano natin ipipresent sa kanila in a more meaningful way, understandable to ordinary people?
Opo, naunawaan ho namin yung barrier na mas maunawaan ng mga ordinaryong Pilipino. Kaya nga po, patuloy po yung pakikipagbayan.
Hindi lamang maunawaan, yung ma-feel nila ang difference.
Yung maramdaman po.
Kasi, let's say, 2025 ngayon, or sabi niya, mukhang hanggang tahimik tayo ngayon, ha? Yung maramdaman lang niya, gano'n comparing with what happened in 2024.
Opo.
Di ba? Huwag nating isama yung mga calamities. Wala naman kayong kinalamanan doon. With or without DOJ, darating ang lindol dito. Sinasabi natin, yung environment ng ating mga mamamayan. Can they compare what happened in 2023 and 2025 so far na yun siguro yung mas hinihingi nila eh. Tingnan mo kanya, dahil sa nakakapaglakbay na tayo ng mas maayos ngayon, nakatipid tayo ng ganito, hindi na ako naglalakad, yung tricycle, ganito, and ganyan. Something that people will easily appreciate.
With your permission, Undersecretary Jesse Andres will respond.
Magandang umaga po, Mr. Chairman, Senator Gatchalian, Senator Marcoleta. Sa ordinaryo pong mamamayan, ang sa tingin po naming mahalagang pagbabago o reforma na nararamdaman nila ay patungkol po sa karapatang pantao at po sa tinatawag nating court congestion at saka jail congestion. Ang isa pong napaka-significant na reforma natin, yung binago po natin, yung antas po ng ebidensya bago po maisakdal sa kasong kriminal ang isang mamamayan. Dati-rati po, ang pamantayan po ng pag-file ng kaso sa mga korte ay tinatawag natin probable cause. Medyo mababa pong antas ng ebidensya yon. At ang ating pong maliit na mga mamamayan na hindi po tamang representasyon ay maaari pong makasuhan at makulong kahit po hindi sapat ang ebidensya. Ayon po sa ating bagong pamantayan na inaprobahan din po ng ating Korte Suprema, ang threshold po of evidence is what we call prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. Ibig sabihin po, nasa kamay na po ng law enforcement agents at ng prosecutors ang sapat na ebidensya para masakdal ang isang individual bago po siya simulan ng preliminary investigation at eventually ma-file yung case sa court. So napakalaking bagay po nito na ang isang inosenteng tao hindi po madedeprive ng liberty when cases are filed against them because no longer is probable cause the threshold of evidence, but a higher threshold that assures the respect for human rights, especially against deprivation of liberty. At even for bailable offenses, ang masama pong nangyayari, hindi naman po nakakapagpiyansa ang mga tao kapag sila po ay na-charge ng offenses na bailable dahil po kulang din po ang kanilang kakayahan na mag-post ng bail. Kaya po dagdag na reforma po natin ay patungkol po sa pagbababa ng bail na hanggang 10,000. Yan po ay napag-usapan sa Justice Sector Coordinating Council at kaya po binaba natin for indigent accused yung bail to a maximum of 10,000 pesos. So mas marami pong mga nasasakdal na maaari na pong lumaya temporarily while the case is ongoing trial. Ang pangalawa po ay tungkol sa jail congestion. Napakalaki pong pagbabago ang ginawa natin sa Bureau of Corrections, especially po sa prison records. Between 2022 to the present, there is an astounding number of releases. 26,000 individuals have been released from Bucor simply because we have now reviewed their prison records and we are now making sure that no one stays incarcerated one day more than what they should be imprisoned for. Dati-rati po, manual po ang review ng mga prison records. Kaya marami pong dapat makalaya na dahil na pagsilbihan na po nila yung sentensya nila. Ngunit dahil hindi gumagalaw ang papeles, nakakulong. Chinaga po namin ito manually, and then ngayon po, fully digitized na po ang ating prison records sa Bucor. Kaya po, napakarami na pong na-process, na-release ng mga tao. So yun po ang immediate na impact sa taong bayan. Hindi po kayo dapat mangamba na makasuhan dahil po kapag meron lang sapat na ebidensya, doon lang po kayo maaaring kasuhan. And this is in favor of ordinary people who cannot have sufficient representation. At sa jail congestion naman po, napakalaki na po ng improvement.
Mr. Chair, sana po magamit nating batayan yung sinasabi ninyo sapagkat hindi naman lahat po merong potential po na pagkakataon na sila ay ma-charge either criminally or civilly, no? Baka hindi rin nila maunawaan po yung ganon. As a matter of fact, 3 weeks ago, meron pong pumunta sa akin, nagpapatulong kung anong kanyang gagawin sapagkat ang gusto niyang kasuhan ay talaga pong influential member ng ating society. As a matter of fact, siya po ay official ng ating judicial system. So, nagtangka po siya na mag-file ng charge. Alam po ba niyo kung ano sinabi ng piskal? Sa may parting Laguna po ito Alam mo ba, bata, kung sino yung gusto mong idemanda? Wala kang kalaban-laban dito. So, under the standard, yung success rate mo sa prosecution, wala, 0 ka dito So, umuwi yung tao, hindi lamang malungkot na malungkot, kundi frustrated siya. So, ito pong mga ganito yung lumilitaw. Maring tama rin po kayo na mayroong nangyayari na mga bagay na kinatutuwa ng ilan. Pero mayroon din pong downside kasi. Ang sinasabi natin, wag na yung masyadong highly technical na pag-uusap. Yun lang ma-feel sana ng tao na kasi po kung hindi naman siya pumupunta sa Bureau of Corrections, paano niya malalaman gaano karami po yung nakukorek natin o ganito. Anyway, kaya ko po tinatanong ito, importante lang na ma-relate po yung Department of Justice sa ordinary na buhay po ng ating mga mamamayan. Yun lang naman po yung kasi po, kagaya po nung sinabi ni ASEC Jermar kanina, ang DOJ ay talaga namang siya yung ating principal law agency sang-ayon sa ating Administrative Code of 1987. Di ba ma'am, sinabi mo kanina? Sa napaka-importante po ng role na ginagampanan po ng DOJ. Earlier po in our work in the Senate, more particularly the Blue Ribbon Committee, this representation as the erstwhile chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee tried his best to get to the bottom of the investigation. We're talking about the flood control anomalous projects. Ang sabi pa nga namin doon, sisisirin po namin yung baha na yan para makita natin ang mastermind. Napakahirap po ng objective na sinet ng inyong lingkod kasi ayoko naman ng na-pinpoint lang natin. Sabi ko nga, puro sap-sap lang o maliliit na isda. Dapat yung ma-target natin, yung pinakamalaking isda. Kasi siya yung nanggulo ng sistema kung bakit nangyari sa atin ito. And so, I maximize the potential. Naisip po yung Witness Protection Program. Dahil sa hirap po ng pagpipinpoint ng utak talaga niyan, mangangailangan ka. So I floated the idea doon sa 15 contractors initially invited in the hearing. Ang sabi ko sa kanila, well, ano po ito, napakahirap po ng inyong kinasasadlakan ngayon sa investigasyon ito. Unang-una, yung offense po na ating pinag-uusapan is a major offense. Plunder nga po ang mangyayari rito. At at least marami pang iba. So, kung gusto po ninyo na tulungan ng Estado, meron po tayong remedyo rito because this is legislative investigation. And under the Witness Protection Program, Section 4, sinasabi niya, kung gusto po ninyong tulungan ng Estado, mahirap po ang gagawin nyo, ngunit may nakalaan pong protection and benefit provided by law. So, nung pinload ko po yung idea na yon, dalawa po yung lumabas, yung mag-asawang Diskaya. And initially, he enumerated 17 members of Congress, House of Representatives. Ang nangyari po, kasi hiningi naman nila yung Witness Protection Program, so nung panahon ko po, I recommended that they be processed under the Witness Protection Program. So sumulat po ako sa Senate President, yun naman po yung dapat nagawin. Sa kamalasan naman po, yung araw din na yun, nagkaroon ng coup. So napalitan po ang Senate President, yung naging Senate President, ayaw niya na po. Ayaw niyang ituloy. At dahil nga po, merong sinabi yung former Secretary of Justice, we cannot process them until and unless they return yung kanilang mga ninakaw, blah, blah, blah. So the new Senate President, pinangatawanan niya yun. Oo nga naman, sabi niya, the Secretary of Justice, sabi niya, that's a good policy. Kailangan mag-restitute muna sila before they can covered by the WPP. Pero paano po? How can we begin to even pretend that we know what to do and to help the state prosecute? Kung sasabihin na kahit nawala po sa batas, ipipilit halimbawa ng inyong dating secretary na kailangan mag-restitute muna. I told him it is not a requirement under the law. But he insisted in saying, well, yeah, it's not in the law, but we can always agree on something like a good policy for the state. Do you agree with him?
I agree with the position of Secretary Boying Rimulya, now the Ombudsman. Basically, it being one of the conditions. When we look at this, Your Honor, no, we're looking at on the ultimate objective, paano yung Estado mananalo at mapapanagot itong mga to. Wala pa pong tapos sa pagpoproseso ng mga nakasalang na nag-a-apply po ng Witness Protection Program. Kasi kaakibat po sa pag-aaral na to, kasama rin po yung under the Witness Protection Program, kasama rin po sa pag-aaral ng atin pong prosecution team na yung paano kung pwede ba under Rule 119 naman pagpasok po. Marami pong iba't ibang binabalangkas at pinag-aaralan, Your Honor, at itong mga bagay na to, pwede pa pong makapagdagdag. Ipapasa ko ho kay Chief Dong at ito po ay aming masusing pinag-aralan at ilalahad niyo po yung iba pa pong mga prosesong tinitimbang. Wala pa pong sarado, Senator. Lahat po ay tinitimbang pa. If with the permission of the Senator,
and then ibig ko sabihin, kung ipipilit na merong restitution kahit wala sa batas, so how can you process the application, for example, of the applicant? Kasi kapag tinignan mo yung, I think the applicable section is section 10. Basahin mo yun, wala namang restitution. So, kung ipipilit natin that somebody should first restitute, doon pa lamang sa title ng batas, Secretary, it is all for the benefit, interest, and protection of the witness. To burden him or her with additional requirement which is not in the law. Hindi ko ba intindihan? How can you agree with that?
Your Honor, ang tinitingnan po dito ay yung pangkalahatan.
No, I'm talking about
Opo.
the WPP.
Opo.
What pang kalahatan ang sinasabi
Ang
mo?
kailangan po kasi sa dulo nito, manalo po yung Estado laban po.
Kaya
manalo
nga,
po
but before you do that,
Opo.
you have to proceed with the process.
Yes, opo.
So, paano siya mapoprocess? Kung ipipilit po na mag-restitute muna, for example, ano yung restitute niya? How much? Sino magkukompute? How can it be done? Sino ang magsasabi na ganito ang dapat niyang i-restitute? Meron na bang ano? Meron na bang pronouncement? We are in the process of asking their help to identify yung mastermind.
Opo.
It cannot be done easily. Kaya nga natin ginamit ang batas na to help the state. Ngayon, kung kayo po pala ay mag-prescribe ng isa pang requirement which is not in the law, I cannot believe this. Ito yung dilemma namin eh. Kaya nung pinipilit niya, sabi, and ako po nagtataka kung bakit kayo rin nag-agree kayo. So, ano po talaga, kayo po yung ano eh. Ang DOJ is the principal law agency. If the principal law agency of this government will not even understand the basic requirements of the law para lamang magkaroon ng nag-a-apply pa lang yung tao po eh. Imagine, hindi man natin masasabi kung ultimately magko-qualify siya eh. Or even if he qualifies as a state witness, kung hindi niya naman nagagampanan ang tungkulin niya under the program, pwede mo rin siyang alisin eh. So, the point, Mr. Chair, is they cannot even begin to be processed under the law. Kasi naglalagay po kayo ng requirement which has not been included by law. Sino yung mag-explain ulit? Sabi? May I be educated on that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to make an attempt to reconcile the debate on this matter. There's actually no inconsistency. First, it is correct that under Section 10, the law provides for the qualifications for a person to be qualified as a state witness. Nandun po yung materiality at absolute necessity ng testimony ng tao, at corroborated po to on its material points by other witnesses, and that he is not the most guilty. Okay. Now, under Section 5, which refers to the memorandum of agreement that has to be executed between the DOJ and the potential state witness, nakalagay din po dyan yung necessary matters that should bind the agreement dito po sa Witness Protection Program. And under Section 5, letter D, nakalagay din po dyan kung ano po yung legal obligations and civil judgments or civil aspect of the case against him. Ang ibig lang pong sabihin yan, kakausapin naman po siya, maaari pong i-process yung application niya, but under the first statement under Section 5,
What is specific provision under that law, under that provision?
Section 5 po says
Ano nga,
that
basahin mo.
before a person is provided protection under this act, he shall first execute a memorandum of agreement
Okay.
which shall set forth his responsibilities, including the following.
Oh, ano
So
nga?
kasama po doon sa mga obligations.
Ano nga?
Ito po, to comply with legal obligations and civil judgments. So doon sa civil judgments po, this refers po to the civil obligation pertaining to the
May
crime.
civil judgment.
No. We're saying legal obligations. Ang basis po ng legal obligations
The basis of legal obligation is the law itself.
is the law itself,
Oh,
which
walang
includes-
nakalagay na restitution, bakit mo ikokot yung
which includes
memorandum?
po other provisions of law, including the civil code on unjust enrichment. Kasama po yan. Every law should be read consistent and harmoniously.
Paano mo nga
with other
i-apply
provisions of
yun,
the
even
law.
the civil code? How can you apply? Paano, ano yung i-restitute niya? Alam mo, magkakatalo lang tayo rito eh.
Hindi ho.
The DOJ
Let me
is in
distinguish-
a position to even calculate how much the applicant should restitute before he can be processed under the application.
I'm making a distinction po between process and enjoying the benefits under this act. So, ipoprocess na po yan dahil matagal po naman ang paraan para malaman at matuntun ang lahat ng civil
Wala pa nga
obligation.
pong statement whether or not meron nga sila. Wala pa tayo eh.
Kailangan po natin makuha ang mga statement ng mga potential witnesses. Kailangan pong evaluate, kailangan pong malaman.
Doon sa,
kung ano po
doon sa
yung-
memorandum na
yung-
sinasabi mo, Yusek, sinasabi restitution?
Opo, kasama po.
Sinasabi dyan?
Hindi, ang word po dito ay civil and legal obligations. Understood po na ang legal obligations has many sources.
Saan ang
Kasama
gagaling
po-
ang obligation? The law does not provide restitution in the first place. That is very simple.
Legal obligation po has a
Huwag kayong
specific definition.
mag-imagine ng argument, Yusek. Magtatagal lang tayo rito. This is very simple enough.
Apo. Anyway, ang sinasabi ko
Kapag
na po,
ka ba hindi provided ng batas, magiging reasonabling obligation under the provision you're quoting?
we are saying that legal obligations is defined under
You
the law.
cannot
And legal
even,
obligations
you
includes
cannot
unjust
use,
enrichment.
your opinion will even matter here. That's your opinion. Ang pinag-uusapan natin is the requisite of law. Thus, the maxim expressio unius est exclusio alterius ring a bell to you?
Alam po natin yun. Ang
O anong
sinasabi
ibig
ko po,
sabihin nun?
Ang what is expressly excluded is not included.
Kaya nga. You are including an opinion which was not expressly enumerated under Section 10 of the law.
We submit, Your Honor, that a witness can be processed under this program, but he cannot receive any of the benefits as stated in Section 5 unless the matter referring to legal obligations is reduced into writing in a memorandum.
So,
Yun
Mr.
po ang
Chair,
position namin.
the opinion of the USEC is trying to supplant the very clear and categorical provision of law.
We submit, Your Honor, we're just reading the text of Section 5. Your Honor, may I also add, we are trying to get to the bottom of the
You
investigation.
are adding an opinion and you are supplanting the basic provision of law. You cannot do that. And sabi pa nga natin, the spring cannot rise higher than its source. Tama?
Opo.
Paano? Pati opinion mo, gagamitin natin. Sana wag ganun para hindi na tayo magtagal. Paano nyo mapoprocess ngayon ito, SEC, Bida? Kung ipipilit nyo halimbawa, tingnan nyo hanggang ngayon, what is the status of the application, for example, of the Discayas? I am not defending them. Kaya ko lang po pinipilit ito because kagaya ng sinabi ko, gusto nating ma-identify yung mastermind.
Opo.
Kung ayaw ninyong i-identify yung mastermind, that's a different matter altogether. So, kahit na wag nyo na siyang i-process, okay lang. Pero kung gusto nyo malilit na isda lang, kaya ayaw nyo i-process, nasa sa inyo yon. Nasa sa inyo yun. Kasi dito sa inyong presentation, yung Office ng Secretary, yung law enforcement program ninyo, yung percentage of successful prosecution, meaning conviction vis-a-vis acquittal, is 90.14%. Pero yung percentage of successful prosecution in cases with witnesses covered by the program, it's 95.3%. And then the third, percentage of successful prosecution in relevant cases handled by the DOJ prosecutors, 80.5%. So dito mas mataas talaga yung success if you will use the WPP. Hindi nga ako, nagtataka nga ako kung bakit averse kayo dun sa pag-process dun sa, samantalang wala namang nilalagay na restitution, ipipilit nyo para lang hindi sila makover ng program. So anong mangyayari sa batas natin? You will insist on an opinion supplanting the requisites categorically provided by law. Hindi talaga makakapaprocess. So pinipili nyo yung gusto nyo i-process. Paano natin, sila lamang ang nakapag-identify initially ng 17 congressmen. At doon sa kanilang mga testimony, lumalabas na rin ang pangalan ni Saldico and Martin Romualdez. Ngayon, kung ayaw ninyong bigyan sila ng protection under that law, kaya siguro umayaw na sila sa ICI. So what is their status now with the DOJ? Are you insisting that they restitute? How much? How do you compute it?
If I may, Your Honor.
Oh, yes.
If I may, Your Honor, to be consistent, the Department of Justice...
No, you are not consistent from the beginning. Huwag mo sasabihin yung to be consistent.
Okay.
There is no consistency here.
Sige.
Magkano ang gusto nyong restitute nila in the first place?
Okay. Wala pa po sa estado na ganon.
So wala to, hindi mapoprocess talaga yan.
Pinoproseso po namin, Your Honor, yung kanyang application.
How can you process the application, Mr. Chair, if you're providing another requisite which is not even written in the law? You're imagining something that is not within the law. You are Department of Justice. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. You're supposed to be the chief.
Pwede ho bang magdagdag, Your Honor? Halimbawa po, sa pagitan po ng pagpapalitan ng statement mula sa witness, sinabi ng isang witness, di ba, kasama ako sa sindikatong ito. Di ba? At dahil sa kumita ako, dito sa pagsali ko sa sindikatong ito, kumita ako ng 10 milyon. Kung sa huba naman, hindi pa kukuhanin ng DOJ bago siya matanggap sa Witness Protection Program. Mga practical na aspeto lang po, Your Honor.
So ano nga sinabi sa inyo ng mga diskaya? Na-determine ninyo kung magkano ang kinita nila?
Diba? Kaya po, Your Honor...
Nakuha nyo na ba? Did they admit to you na sila ay nangulimbat ng ganito karaming pera? I have to explain myself.
Opo.
Hindi ko dinidepensa ng mga taong yon.
Opo.
Ginawa ko lamang yon doon sa nalalaman ko na ma-identify natin ang pinaka-mastermind dito. Yun lang, wala nang iba.
Opo.
Kung gusto nyong ang ma-identify, puro butete at saka sapsap, bahala na kayo sa buhay nyo.
Gusto rin po namin, Your Honor.
Gusto nyo pala eh.
Opo.
Why are you putting a requirement that is not within the law? Tsaka na natin sila na-prosecute na natin yung mandarambong, na-prosecute na natin yung mastermind. Bakit? Makakalampas ba sila sa civil liability? Of course, the court will, in proper time, adjudicate kung anong dapat nilang isuli sa gobyerno. That is the only time when restitution can be done. Kasi mayroong court order eh. Pero sa ngayon, will you abuse your discretion na kaya niyong gawin ito kahit na wala sa batas? How can the Department of Justice do that? You're supposed to be the embodiment of justice.